Receive notice.
Okay, good evening everyone. It's being 6 p.m. And our first meeting of the new council. I have the pleasure of opening the meeting up for the first one. So welcome everyone. It's 6 p.m. I've noticed everyone in attendance except for Councillor Graham, who is a leave of absence. I wouldn't mind calling Mr. Trevor Wally forward to undertake the Welcome to Country for us, please.
Hello. Kaya. Yes. Kaya. Yeah, my name is Trevor Wally. If you put A in the middle of my, at the end, and you put up, you go Wally up. So that's an Aboriginal name, Wally up. And it means the sea breeze. It means the crying of the children. I was looking at the flags there, and you could see the wind coming through. And when you're in the trees, you can hear the wailing, wailing. It means the baby crying. It's the crying of the baby, the wailing. And so that's my interpretation. But if you ask someone else, they've got some other interpretations. But Wally is an Aboriginal name. And if you put up, place of the wailing, the crying. So it remembers the ancestors. So when you hear oh, we're going to wailing up, it means the ancestors are talking to us through because we're children of the earth. And so I carry the children of the earth in my surname, Wally, but Mum calls me Trevor, so, you know. So that's an introductory when I was coming along here, that wailing up means the children are crying. We've got places called Wallabing, Ninning, sitting down, wailing, crying. Walyanga, the Nyungas of the wailing, the Walyanga National Park, wailing is a crying, Nyungar are the people. And so York is called the wailing. As the wind goes through the mountains, you can hear the wailing, the crying. And so everything around us is important, even the sound. And so you're famous for this Fremantle Doctors. Is it Fremantle Doctor? Or the Fremantle Dockers? I'm not quite sure. Yes, I know. The name wailing means to cry and reminds of the ancestors. But if you ask me and you ask another person, and you'd be so confused. But in the way I was brought up, wailing is crying of the children. When a child cries, it means attention. So we've got to have the attention for the wailing, the crying. Coming through here, I think, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then just off my secret spot, just near South Beach, is these beautiful quandongs. I don't know if there's ladies, do you know what the quandongs are? Make quandong jam? Say yes. Okay, all right. These are, and we eat the fruit. So this is fruiting. So this is the time when the quandongs are in fruit. So it reminds me, see, you've got beautiful flowers here. So we've got our seasons where the fruit is flowering, and we make quandong jam from that. So I thought I'd bring that along. Then I went past this Princess Theatre, and I remember, back in the mid-70s, us kids, only got, 2 minutes? 2 minutes? We used to go into we were barefoot kids, and we'd get someone to go in through the front door, but we would hang around the back and we'd sneak in. And when they played God Save the Queen, it was our cue to walk in and sit down, like we paid. And I do remember, I took some notes here somewhere and I can't find it. But there was a play, there was Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, and the beautiful Natalie Wood. That I always remember. I was only about 15, but I remember this Natalie Wood. And it was a great race. And then I saw To Sir With Love, Sidney Poitier. So we used to come here in Fremantle, but we used to go into the back way and watch the pictures. And that's a little bit of background of our barefoot kids. And so when we do the welcome to country, because I'm a Noongar, everybody say Noongar? I don't know, but all these Wajak and Yewit and Nalakala Butcho and I don't know. We grew up with being Noongar. We were straight as a spear. We didn't mess around with words because I grew up in camps. And when we grew up in camps, we were very sure what we would say. And we would say Noongar. And we didn't muck around with boundaries and councils and, oh, you're on that, you're not, you're over there, you know, you're in a different council, you're someone else. And I go, oh, God, what am I now? You know, and so we were called Noongars. And I just want to share with you that we have to be straight and spear. So when I do a welcome to country, I've got to do straight and spear. I can't muck around with yes, with words, with fancy modern day words. I've got to be true to our culture. And I think that's what you get. You get the true culture. And so we say Nganj Nija Nanuk, so I'm here with you. Say Nganj Nija Nanuk, calling our Buja. Nganj Nija Buja. Yes, you put your left Buja in, you put your left Buja out and shake it all about. So Nganj Nija Nanuk, I'm here with you. With Buja is land, Nganj Nija Nanuk Buja Coolingas, we're children of the land. So we're not masters of the land, we're children. So we say, Nganj Nija Nanuk Coolinga Buja, Buja Bujari, Mama and Wadan, the Father Ocean, Gormanak, the great-grandmother's son, Kog Mika the moon, our uncle the moon, Nalak Jinda the stars. So we come from the stars. So when you see a falling star, what do? Yes. We say, bina, 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 boya, coolinga nini, the yellows, blues and reds and purples and all the colours. So we didn't have one colour. So our firstborn weren't black. Our first colours were the colours of the rainbow because the falling stars had different colours. And when you see a falling star, it is the firstborn. And so we say we didn't have one colour, we had many colours. So we say, bina, bina, boya, coolinga nini, Kaya Kaya, welcome, welcome. So welcome to the land of the Noongar people, the flowers, the water, the snake, the kangaroo, the goanna, the birds and us. We put our hands in the walls because we came from the birds, the goanna, the kangaroo, the snake, the flowers and the water. Thank you very much, Kaya Kaya. And you know what? You know, we lose our language, we lose our culture like everyone else. But if you keep it alive by having welcomes and having Noongar people, then we have to keep the language up, we have to keep our skills up. And I'd like to thank you people, the City of Fremantle, to embracing Noongar culture, embracing Aboriginal culture, because without it, we lose our culture. We lose our language, we lose our song, we lose our dance. And so, you know, I'm very credit to you guys and the girls, women, men, to give us that chance to get our culture alive. Thank you. Right. I will go.
Thank you, Trevor.
I'll go to the princess to see if it's still there.
Thank you for that welcome, Trevor. Again, it's my pleasure to open the first meeting of this council and again welcome all the visitors and the elected members and congratulate those elected members who were elected over the weekend. It's a bit of a formal start to the council meeting tonight. First of all, I'll read out the results of the election as put forward by the returning officer. Then we'll swear in the new mayor and elected members and get into the council meeting. And I'll hand over to the mayor, the newly elected mayor, so he can take proceedings from there. So the report from the returning officer, Mr. Andrew Cousins, for the elections held on the weekend, and I'll start with first of all the mayoral election. So there were a total of 9,661 formal votes from that election, with the first preferences applied. Ben Lorver received 3,315 votes. Maria Vusic received 1,439 votes. Mark Woodcock received 1,008 votes. Hannah Fitzharding received 2,680 votes, and Jenny Archibald received 1,219 votes. After the distribution of second and third preferences with that vote, Benjamin Allen Lawver was declared elected as Mayor of the City of Fremantle with 4,441 votes in total until the period of 20th of October 2029. So congratulate Ben. In the election for the Central Ward, the returning officer declared Fidel Kamada elected unopposed as councillor of that ward for the City of Fremantle until the 20th of October 2029. Well done, Fidel. For the role of councillor in the Coastal Ward, a total of 2,461 votes were received. First preference votes for each candidate were Maria Vusic, 903, Andrew Sullivan, 1,124, and Selwyn Castles, 434. And after the distribution of preferences in that ward, Mr. Andrew Charles Sullivan is elected as councillor for the Coastal Ward for the City of Fremantle until the 20th of October 2029. Well done, Andrew. And then the role of councillor in the East Ward, an amount of 2,405 valid votes were received in that ward. First preference votes received per candidate were Nick Everett, 473, Brendan Moore, 294, Sally Mackay, 825, and Pip Slaughter, 813. After the issuing of preferences in that ward, Philippa Gay Slaughter is elected as councillor for the East Ward of the City of Fremantle until the 20th of October 2029. Well done, Pip. And finally, the position of councillor for the North Ward. A total of 2,382 formal votes were received in that ward, and after first preferences, the tally was Tyler Ray, 184 votes, Melanie Clark, 776, Mark Woodcock, 631, and PJ Yates, 791. After the issuing of preferences in that ward, I can declare that Melanie Jane Clark is elected as councillor for the North Ward for the City of Fremantle until the 20th of October 2029. Well done, Mel. Personally, from me, I'd like to thank the WA Electoral Commission and in particular the returning officer Andrew Cousins for his work, and definitely the 21 or 22 odd City of Fremantle staff that helped out over the weekend as well. Well done to everyone involved. Thank you. So having declared all of those positions, I can now call up Mr. John Alberti, former councillor John Alberti and JP, to conduct the swearing in. And the first item on that is to swear in the Mayor, or the newly elected Mayor, Ben Lawver.
Good evening, all. My role tonight here is to swear in the Mayor and the councillors so that way they can get on with the meeting, so we'll do that straight away. Benjamin Allen Lawver, just if you want to just read all of that, just declare.
All right. I, Benjamin Allen Lawver of 1 Chadwick Street, Hilton, Western Australia, 6163, having been elected to the office of Mayor of the City of Fremantle, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly, and with integrity fulfill the duties of the office for the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the code of conduct adopted by the City of Fremantle under section 5.104 of the Local Government Act of 1995. Declared at the Wallyup Civic Centre, 151 High Street, Fremantle, on the 22nd of October, 2025.
councillors, ladies and gentlemen, give you Mayor Benjamin Allen Lawver. All yours.
I now call up Fidel Kamada.
Just if you read all of that, your name, address and all of that. Yeah.
I, Fideli James Kamada of 93 York Street, Beaconsfield, having been elected to the office of Councillor of the City of Fremantle, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the Code of Conduct adopted by the City of Fremantle under Section 5.104 of the Local Government Act 1995, declared at Wallyup Civic Centre, 151 High Street, Fremantle, today.
Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, Councillor Fidel Kamada.
And I now call up Pip Slaughter.
I, Philippa Slaughter of 40 Hines Road, Hilton, having been elected to the office of Councillor of the City of Fremantle, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the Code of Conduct adopted by the City of Fremantle under Section 5.104 of the Local Government Act, declared today at the Wallyup Civic Centre.
Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, Councillor Philippa Slaughter.
And I'd like to call up Melanie Clark.
I, Melanie Jane Clark of 19 Rochway, Fremantle, having been declared to the office of Councillor of the City of Fremantle, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the Code of Conduct adopted by the City of Fremantle under Section 5.104 of the Local Government Act 1995. Declared at the Wallyup Civic Centre, 151 High Street, Fremantle, on the 22nd of October 2025.
Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, give you Councillor Melanie Jane Clark.
And I now call up Mr. Andrew Sullivan.
I, Andrew Sullivan of 34 Arundel Street, Fremantle, have been elected to the office, they've given me the wrong form, the office of Councillor of the City of Fremantle, and declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the Code of Conduct adopted by the City of Fremantle under Section 5.104 of the Local Government Act 1995, as declared at the Walyalup Civic Centre, 151 High Street, Fremantle, on the 22nd of October 2025. And when the proper form gets there, I'll happily sign it. It's a bit of an omen, Fidel.
Oh, you can sign it, yeah, okay. So I'll cross it off and initial it. We'll wait until you get the proper form. It's coming now. Do one later. Yeah, just make that.
It's council, isn't it?
Mayor, Councillor, give you Andrew Charles Sullivan, Councillor.
Thank you, John. Appreciate all the time that you come and give towards us. So it's now my pleasure to hand over the council formally to the public and the conduct of the meeting to new Mayor Ben Lorver.
Well, thank you, Glenn. I'd just like to start with an acknowledgement of country, if I may. Just that, we acknowledge that the Whadjuk people as the traditional owners of the greater Fremantle-Walyalup area. And I also acknowledge that we meet here today on land that was never ceded. And I wholeheartedly support the many campaigns for truth-telling, justice, and reconciliation here and across the country. Just to remind people that this meeting is being recorded and streamed live online. While all care is taken to maintain privacy, visitors in the public gallery and members of the public submitting a question may be captured on the recording. So let's go with that. And that brings us to applications for leave of absence. Are there any applications for leave?
Yes.
Sorry, Councillor Van Dorsen.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I have an application for leave from the 31st of October to the 2nd of November, inclusive. Thank you.
Moved by Councillor Moughlin, seconded Williamson Wong. All those in favor? That's unanimous. If there's no other applications for leave of absence, we'll go on to disclosures of interest by any members. No? Great. And now we're into public question time. Are there any statements or questions from the public gallery tonight? Taking it really easy on me, thank you. And then the responses to the previous public questions that were taken on notice, those are printed in the agenda. So if folks are interested in that, they're more than welcome to read those. And that will bring us to petitions, which I understand we have one.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Lorver. I have a petition from Karen Claridge. It's a Go Slow on Hope Street petition. It was organised by Karen, and there are 41 residents that have signed this particular request for appropriate traffic calming measures to ensure the safety of residents, particularly children walking or cycling to school. So if I could hand that over to the governance officer, yeah, and we can move on with it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Councillor Kamada. Appreciate that. Are there any deputations or presentations from elected members? Councillor Kamada.
Yeah, thank you. I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk about the event that I went to on Sunday. It was the Fremantle Studies Day, and it was at the Army Museum, which is a little area that a lot of people in Fremantle probably don't realise exists. And what they do on that day is they present a Fremantle Studies volume, and it's a collection of previous studies that have been done, and there are some really interesting research subjects that the speakers come and they discuss, and people can ask questions. And you think you know a lot about your city, but when you go to these particular events, you realise there's so much that we don't know. And it was interesting to hear Mr. Wally, Trevor Wally, talk about keeping history alive. And, you know, from our earliest, of course, Indigenous history right through to modern times, there are so many stories that need to be captured and kept alive. So I had the honour of presenting volumes of this particular book to the previous speakers of other days, and yeah, it was just a real honour to be involved. So I encourage people to try and have a look at this. It's it's worth the read. Thank you.
Keep forgetting that it comes back to me. Thank you, Councillor Kamada. So that moves us to the confirmation of the minutes. Can I get someone to move those? Moved Councillor Sullivan, seconded Councillor Moughlin. All those in favour?
You can vote. You're in the chamber, you have to vote.
I'll take that as unanimous. All right. And now we're into elected member communication. Are there any? Councillor Williamson-Wong.
Apologies, I didn't flag this earlier. I thought it would be good to mention that last week, Councillor Van Dawson and I were elected member representatives on the JDAP. That was deciding an application to remove a condition on the Wool Stores development, which is obviously a very significant development in our city. The outcome of that was that condition 38, which related to the skate ledge, was deleted. But what it really highlighted, I think, is that there are many opportunities to be had along Cantonment Street and many stakeholder groups. And so I really look forward to working with all of the stakeholders involved to make sure that from here on out the city plays a very proactive and, I guess, a facilitating role. And I also did want to mention that while we were sitting in the JDAP meeting deciding that the state government issued a statement to save the Munchies skate park, which has very similar but different importance to the skate community. And so thank you to the work from the city in advocating for that to be saved, and similarly for our state member on making sure that we have a skate park still there.
Great, thank you. Any other elected member communication? All right, well, this is the first item that I get to move, and it's C2510-7, election of the deputy mayor. So if I could get someone to move that in a second? Not yet, okay. I'm going to move this, I'm going to hand it over to our CEO, Glenn, to explain how the election of the deputy mayor is going to work.
Thank you, and through the chair. So under the Local Government Act, the first item of business of every new council is to elect a deputy mayor. And that's what we're about to do right now. So I will announce that nominations are open for the position of Deputy Mayor with the City of Fremantle for the period ending October 2027. I don't know what date exactly yet. I have two nominations already provided in writing to me prior to the meeting commencing, and that is from Councillor Sullivan and Councillor Kamada. Can I just confirm with both of them that that is correct, actually correct? I'll call for any further nominations at this point. It appears we may be exhausted with the nominations. So I'll now close nominations and talk about the voting process. So at the moment, our Manager of Governance is about to hand out the ballot papers. There'll be two names on it. It's preferential voting, believe it or not, and it's optional preferential voting, but of course there are only two candidates, so I'll take either a 1 or a 2 or just a 1 on the paper as your preference. Once you've completed your vote, could you please just fold your paper up, and then the Manager of Governance will walk around with a cardboard box and you can place your ballot paper in there. We'll shake it up, pretend we don't know who voted what, and pull them out and have a count of them. And while we're waiting, we'll just remind everyone in the chamber that there's actually an equal number of elected members here tonight, so we could get a tied vote, just to add to the suspense of it all. Yeah. We have to redo it. I can confirm I've received 8 valid ballot slips, and after counting the votes, I can declare Councillor Fideli Kamada Deputy Mayor of the City of Fremantle for the term expiring 16 of October 2027. Well done. Can I call Mr Johnny Alberti forward again to swear in our new Deputy Mayor?
Mayor, Councillor, Deputy Mayor Fideli Kamada.
Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Great, and congratulations, Deputy Mayor Fideli Kamada. For those of you that aren't aware, Fideli and I were both elected for the first time 4 years ago, and so I'm looking forward to working with you even closely in these new roles that we both have. All right, it brings us to general reports because we have no planning reports. So we've got 2510-8, the elected members communication agreement. We also have 3 statutory reports: the statement of investments, the schedule of payments, and the monthly financial reports. Can I just ask if any elected members want to speak on any of these items?
Yep, on 10. Thank you.
All right, well then I may move 8, 9, and 11 on, or sorry, I may suggest that someone moves 8, 9, and 11 on block. That'd be Councillor Kamada. Is there a seconder? Councillor Van Dorsen. All right, we'll put those 3 to a vote. All those in favor? Great, that passes unanimously. Brings us back to number 10 on the statutory reports, schedule of payments. Can I get someone to move that way? Councillor Moughlin and a seconder. Councillor Wellington Wong. And did you want to speak, Councillor?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just a quick question to the Director of City Business on this item, particularly related to the schedule of payments for credit cards. And recently we had our Office of Auditor General audit in regards to purchasing card use at the city, and one of the items that was identified in that audit was in regards to how the information was presented to councillors each month in that report, and particularly such that each of those purchases done on the credit card, on an individual credit card, could be identified as to what that use was for. And historically we did have in that report in previous reports that information captured. And I just wanted to check in with the director about when we would be able to expect to see the report updated to meet those requirements and ensure that we could see those individual items and the purchase that was made for those.
Through the chair, we are just making some minor changes to the system so that we can start pulling those comments back in through to the report, and we hope to see those comments appearing in that report hopefully by the end of the year.
Any other comments or questions? All right, we'll put that one to a vote. All those in favor? Great, and that is unanimous. Wonderful. Well, that's all the business that we have on the agenda. We have no working group reports, no motions of previous notice, no urgent business, no late items, and no confidential business. So I'll declare this meeting closed at 6:36 p.m. Great. Thank you, everyone.